and today I'm going to be showing you guys my seed to my Herobrine world. So a lot of people have been requesting this, so I'm finally going to give it to you guys, but I didn't really see any point to doing it because, well, first off, this is not actually the seed. You see, this is the world. I named it single player, and it says the seed is 0. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but as you guys can see, this is my world where I found him. You know, this is the world I have him on it, and you know, all that fun stuff. You can see here all my creations, and you guys will probably recognize this if you saw that recent video. I was going down into here, and I turned around, he was standing right there.
For nearly 13 years, this was a question that I could never answer. I've made it no secret that I've been on YouTube before, and this particular Minecraft map has a lot of sentimental value to me, because it was a big piece of that old channel. I made more than 30 videos featuring it, and there's over 2 million collective views of it, mainly because of the handful of Herobrine sightings I put together on this world. And that led to a ton of people asking me what the seed was. But there was always a problem. For as long as I've been able to check the seeds in-game, this save has always said 0, which is not correct. 0 generates a completely different seed, meaning that my world probably got corrupted at some point early on, which really isn't surprising because it's always had some weird quirks, but I'm hoping the things I talk about today help shed some light for someone with some seed cracking knowledge to potentially help me out. Let me explain. We're digging pretty far back into my YouTube history today, nearly back to the very beginning. Nothing seems too weird until we reach the 8th video, the first Herobrine sighting I ever made and uploaded. Being one of my first YouTube videos ever, it wasn't anything fancy, just a slideshow with some simple title cards acting as narration. What I think gave this video the potential to stand out though is the fact that the other player was floating in midair in a survival game. That's where the weirdness begins. Of course, this guy is me on another device, but he's stuck on the border a couple blocks above the ground. I thought it was kind of odd, so I changed the skin and went down the rabbit hole of Herobrine sightings, but we're not here to talk about that today. Why does the other person spawn inside the world border when they join? Well, the simple, easy answer is corruption, which has some further proof when I kill the other player and they respawn. Now they're moved to a more normal-looking part of the world. Let's go try to find him. Alright, there he is, and yeah. Do you notice something a little off? Everyone aside from the host has all of this extra random terrain strewn throughout the map. It kind of even resembles the Farlands a little bit from beta. So it seems that the seed and chunk data from this map is just so screwed that the other instances of the game see it as a completely different seed. There's a little something I want to try quick. There used to be a cool, but kind of buggy feature of these old MCPE versions that lets you save a copy of the world that you joined. It wasn't perfect. I don't even think it would save player-built structures. Usually it would just give you the blank seed. So let's see, what happens when I do that with this world? Yep, it gives me a different one instead. And now even this map says 0. Yeah, I'm really not following this. I've never seen someone show a seed quite as broken as this one in Pocket Edition before. I do have a few speculative ideas though that might hold a little bit of weight. Around the time I was playing on this save file, I messed around with a handful of things. like different mods using MCPE patch, changing my game files with new textures, and using IMCP edit to give me some unattainable items. All the usual stuff that was cool to do if you had a jailbroken device. In this old video here, I demonstrate a bug that crashes my game when I go to open a chest. Now, I don't remember all the specifics, like what mod I had installed, and I don't have access to MCPE patch anymore to try to replicate it. But I do vaguely remember uninstalling a mod in order to get my game working properly again. And somewhere on some forum, I could have sworn I read that hardcore crashes like that, where you get forced out of the game, could potentially lead to corruption. Unfortunately, that doesn't fully explain the player getting caught by the border though, because the game crash video came out after the floating Herobrine video. Another good example of a crash is when your device runs out of battery, which for all I know could have very well happened back then at some point. Maybe just before I made the Herobrine video. It's been a long time, I don't remember. So I tried it out. Here's a fresh world made in 0.6.1. It's the same version I made my corrupt single-player world in. And I played until my iPod died with me still in the game. And it only took about 15 minutes with the brightness cranked all the way up. Then I had to install a different version of the game quick to check the seed list, since you couldn't do that yet in this version. So now here's 0.8.0, and I hopped back in real quick just to see if anything looked out of order before checking the seed. The only thing I noticed was it backtracked my steps maybe 10 seconds or so, which is not the craziest thing I've ever seen. But for the moment of truth, does the seed say 0? No. No, it doesn't. Okay, what else can we try? Some have told me that IMCP edit could be responsible for the corruption, and I definitely don't doubt that it has the potential to do that, but after playing around with it for a while now, while trying to break a new map and replicate this seed glitch, I couldn't make it happen. That is until I started messing around with all of these random settings. I really don't even know what I'm doing. I just figured the best way to break this new map is to go buck wild with whatever I can. After changing a bunch of these values, I joined back in and I was instantly killed. But then when I respawned, oh, look at that. I'm in the corner. Well, that looks familiar. Let's go check the seed. No way. So it was IMCP edit that did it all those years ago. And sure enough, when I join with another player, I get a similar effect to my original world, with all of this extra added terrain that isn't actually there. Wow. It's good to finally know what caused it, but this still doesn't give us the ultimate answer as to what the seed is. This is one of those projects that I would pick at every now and then throughout the years to try and get an answer as to how or why this happened. Or see if I can magically stumble across the seed by using some sort of world editor, file extractor, or some old random backup of the map that I have buried in iFile. I have one from 2013 and one from 2014, but nothing ever comes of it though. As far as my own knowledge will take me, this seed is likely lost forever. But it's not hopeless yet. A few years ago, there was a massive surge across the internet with a group of people called the Minecraft at Home team, and they poured their heads together to crack certain unknown seeds that related to various famous images or videos. Most notably are pack.png, the original Herobrine sighting, the Skull on Fire artwork, and a bunch of the main menu panorama seeds. One in particular that stands out to me though is the MCPE 0.7.0 title screen, an image that only ever existed in a highly blurred format. If these guys are smart enough and talented enough to crack a seed based off of this picture, there's no doubt in my mind they're capable of finding the long-lost seed to this world. And that's my overall mission here today. I'm asking for help. Over a year ago, I plopped a whole bunch of information in the Ask for Help section of their Discord, and it gained a decent amount of traction for a bit of time. Big shoutouts to these folks right here. But after a little while, it definitely tapered off and didn't get the right set of eyes on it. So, to the Minecraft at Home team. While I have basically no knowledge of how to properly crack a seed through code, here's what I can present to you as an offering to make this potential project as easy as possible. I'm aware that the random seed generation on Pocket Edition utilizes the Unix timestamp codes, and I'm nearly certain this seed was random, although it's been 13 years, so cut me a little bit of slack. As for the date and time it was generated, I can confidently narrow it down to a roughly 36-hour window. If we look at the first Herobrine video, which is the first showcase ever of this map, it was uploaded on March 6th, 2013. If we go back 2 more videos on that old channel to March 4th, 2013, where I'm attempting to do a survival island, we can see in my world list that this corrupted world hasn't been created yet. Meaning I must have generated it either very late on March 4th, say after 10 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time, or early on March 6th. Technically, I could sit and eventually find it, but since it's literally 1 seed to check for every second that passes in a day and a half, that's roughly 130,000 different seeds to type in and generate. I'm even willing to bet we can remove March 6th entirely and just search through late night March 4th and all day March 5th. But even then, it's still tens of thousands of seeds to check manually. It's just not worth it. I also still have multiple iterations of this map. A backup from 0.6.1, 0.8.0, and a modern Bedrock version along with a Java port. There were a couple people in the Discord that told me it may be possible to use tree generation to help determine the seed. Most of this entire section of the map is original as far as I can remember. I'm hoping all of this is true, and having the world files on hand will make this infinitely easier to do than just relying on some old videos and screenshots. And I'm sorry, but I think that's the best that you're gonna get from me. I wish I knew more about this stuff, but this video is really just for me to present the situation and hope someone smarter than me stumbles across it. If something is still missing or it's just a lost cause and the seed is gone forever, please correct me in the comments. But if anyone thinks it's possible and wants to have a serious go at it, let me know, and we'll work out a way to get you whatever you need to perform your magic. Or check out the Ask for Help tab in the Minecraft at Home Discord server, where myself and others have posted some hopefully useful files and information. If it does somehow end up being found, I would love to make a follow-up video featuring either the individual or group of people that managed to discover it, to personally thank them. It would mean a lot to me, and it would finally end the 13-year curse that has plagued this save file.